This video was made possible by CuriosityStream. When you sign up at curiositystream.com/HAI, you'll also get access to Nebula, the streaming service that HAI is a part of. The Roaring Twenties. Flapper Girls, the Harlem Renaissance, Prohibition, Art Deco, the birth of Hollywood, automobiles, women talking on cell phones, the Teapot Dome Wait, sorry, back up. Was that woman talking on a cell phone? Yeah, look at that. This background actor in Charlie Chaplin's 1928 film The Circus is definitely holding some kind of modern-looking cell phone. Now, you know me. I like to come to quick, simple conclusions without any evidence or further explanation, so it's very tempting for me to jump on the internet bandwagon, declare this woman a time traveler, and get back to my busy schedule of not acknowledging your demands for me to make a brick video. Unfortunately, my advertiser said they'd drop me if I started spreading misinformation, so I'm legally obligated to point out that there weren't cell towers in 1928, the cell phone would have no way of operating without cell towers, many archivists have determined that the object she's holding is not a cell phone and actually an early kind of hearing aid called an acousticon, and that time travel isn't possible. Except, it kind of is. In fact, there's a world record for time travel, and it's held by this guy, Sergei Krikalev, who has traveled a full 0.2 seconds into the future. Okay, well, I guess that doesn't sound as exciting as this woman who appears to have traveled back to 1928, but he actually did it, okay? The only world record she holds is most controversial hearing aid and maybe dumbest hat. As for Krikalev, his time-traveling exploits are very real, but they're going to require a super quick explanation of gravitational time dilation and Einstein's theory of special relativity. Alright, so basically, time and space are interconnected in a giant four-dimensional sheet called space-time. When mass is placed on that sheet, it becomes warped, which affects both the gravity and relative rate of time in that part of the sheet. It's sort of like how when you are placed on your sheet, you start to experience time differently. Or maybe that's just you taking a nap and waking up later, I'm not sure. But analogies aside, it's also important to note that energy can warp space-time, so objects moving at different velocities can also experience time at different rates relative to one another. It's sort of like how when you stop moving and get into bed, time seems to accelerate. Or maybe that's just you taking a nap again. Look, you just need to know that time moves at different rates depending on forces like gravity and velocity and mass and all that other good stuff. Good? Okay. Now that we're all physics experts, let's meet Sergei. Sergei is a Russian cosmonaut and former Soviet cosmonaut before the Soviet Union dissolved and left him stranded in space for 311 straight days. But in total, Sergei has been in space for exactly 803 days, 9 hours, and 39 minutes, or roughly the time it takes to get through the security line at Newark Airport. Now, in space, two forces are acting on the flow of time around you: low gravity and super high velocity. The low gravity actually makes time move faster in space, which would have Sergei going back in time upon returning to Earth, but this is cancelled out by the space station traveling at just under 5 miles per second, making time move much slower instead. Traveling that fast, for that many days, means that Sergei technically traveled into his own future and is going to live 0.2 seconds longer relative to everyone else on Earth. And also probably a lot longer than that, because this dude is just in plain good shape. I mean, look at him. Look at that jawline. Whew. Anyway, you're probably thinking now, well, I haven't been in a space station, but I have traveled pretty fast on a plane, or in a car, or I've run really quickly over to my computer because I got a notification that a new HI video was out. Does that mean I've time traveled too? And the answer is yes, technically. In fact, you can use this equation to determine just how much time you've gained over your sad, boring friend who has been sitting perfectly still at sea level for his entire life. But before you book tickets to live out the rest of your life on a commercial airliner, I should point out that the gravitational time dilation in airplanes usually balances, or even overtakes, the effects of the velocity. That is to say, if you lived the rest of your life on an airplane, it might end up being ever so slightly shortened by the effect of lower gravity on time, and also the effect of only ever consuming peanuts and tiny bottles of gin on your body. If you really wanted to extend your life, you're much better off living on something like a bullet train, or, just wearing a damn mask. Now, you might remember a video we made about a year ago about why the Hudson Bay region of Canada has less gravity, but what we didn't tell you is that the time also moves ever so slightly faster there too. In fact, because of gravitational time dilation, time moves at different rates on different parts of the Earth, and it even moves slightly faster at the top of your head than at the base of your feet. Unless, I guess, you're doing a handstand, in which case you're probably having too much fun to be worried about this stuff anyways. But if you're looking for the place on Earth where time goes by the very slowest, look no further than here. Newark International Air... Wait, nope, sorry, we've hit our Newark roast quota for the month. The actual answer is probably deep in a cave somewhere in Chile, but because of the Earth's shifting crust, its gravitational field changes over time too, so we never quite know just how fast time is moving around us. Now, if you manage to bend space and time to score an extra 0.2 seconds on Earth, I would recommend using that extra time to watch the first 0.2 seconds of HI's first 30-minute special featuring a super special mystery guest and premiering exclusively on Nebula very, very soon. Now, you could just get a subscription to Nebula for $30 a year, but I'll let you in on a little secret. By signing up for CuriosityStream at curiositystream.com/HAI, you'll get a subscription to Nebula for free, and you'll also get an incredible library of thousands of documentaries by big names like Nick Offerman, Jane Goodall, and Stephen Hawking. Also, for a limited time, CuriosityStream's annual subscription is on sale for just $15 a year. That's half the price for double the streaming services, so now is definitely the time to sign up. Once again, that's 2 amazing streaming services, countless hours of content, and a super special 30-minute HI original that you won't want to miss, all by signing up at curiositystream.com/HA.